that up? How do you combine utility to make sure there's value there? It will be interesting and a ton of fun to watch.
Here we go. Elimination on the line, elimination on the mind. FUT Esports as well, still not qualified for Champions. The battle for EMEA, like Kuka was mentioning, is on. The next 2 matches will determine a lot here. Whether it's a group stage exit for FUT, or whether they move on and stay in contention for that slot. Meanwhile, China looking for their very first win on a global stage. Already the wingman sent in. And there's no reclear. Just something that you have to be looking out for if you're ASE. Studying this Haven is looking for the information about where that wingman went. Are they going to pick it back up? Are they going to follow up with an execute off of it? There's a timing window here for FUT.
There is, and it's just life here on the site. Depending on how much pressure they apply through short, too, he could be overwhelmed very quickly. But the paranoia doesn't hit, the goop does.
Oh, wow. They know that he's on short.
Yeah, he just tucks in short. Look, another bit of utility use, but there's no pressure coming in from the site itself. It doesn't matter, though, as Krax gets a kill.
That's the first sign that they're very unprepared there. You've got to be ready for that flash from Krax over top of Long. And on top of that, nobody to follow up and help him. Either way, that's a great shock from HFMI.
Second one used in the round already. We saw it in the opener. Now finding value there, but Monk on the swing, trying to hold them back. That paranoia is going to help too, but out of Captain goes undetected. He's only able to take down 2 with him, though, as the pistol goes towards ASE.
So quick there to come back on the site. And Yishen as well, not even putting any util in to help life in that situation, is able to use it for the hit. But they even didn't check their corners, and they still managed to come out with that. Out of Captain with 2 from that angle. Luckily for them, he was blind long enough for them to get other kills while they flooded out.
Right.
If it wasn't for that, it'd be a completely different story. It's incredibly important for FUT to start off fast. They did not have that going for them against EG, and it's been a theme for them all season long since they actually made it to this Tier 1 stage back at Lock-In. If they don't start off strong, it's really difficult for them to mentally get back into the game.
They're wanting to go fast here, and Monk is just inside the smoke with the stinger, waiting for the challenge. Gun barrel's the first to go! How does he get 2 there? Bunt from a distance, Garrett grabbing a couple of his own, and leaving Mr. Fallen by himself.
2 ridiculous kills. I mean, he should have gotten 1 for sure, but the spray looked to me out of control in Monk's hands. Really interesting idea there for FUT too. They just threw that smoke like they're gonna pop out of it, but they stopped outside of it because they knew that ASE was gonna dive their way in, Monk specifically. Took them so long to make the decision to go. I think they were waiting for it to fall before they went, but they still weren't prepared for that. He should have died without even 1 there, if that is executed properly. Either way. Also love the Ares buy from Yishen. It does allow him to follow up on this bonus in some interesting ways. He already spammed down Garage. Didn't break the turret though. You can get that broken just by spamming.
And they've seen it there already, so it shouldn't be a surprise. Smoked off this time though, at least for now. And that's going to force them to put bodies in the space that the turret should be watching. You saw Monk just step into window.
Oh, that's a second smoke already used for Mr. Fallen. He used 1 on Long at the beginning, and then the second one on Garage, which was the one that they used just in the prior round.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a long time for them to be able to hit. They hit without smokes. That could be dire. Depending on if they smoke heaven, if they smoke spawn, they've got to wait another 20 seconds at least for the second one to come back up.
Sure.
Plenty of execute tools still, though.
But it seems like they're going to want to wait for now.
That dart is really shallow, though. The one down short, HFMI might have false information.
He just wants to tuck. No, it's punished by Maj. See the paranoia going out too. Utility dumped over the wall as they get their way out onto the site. The spike following shortly thereafter.
That reclear, normally a good idea late in the round to find some information, but he's not assisted and there's no util with it. So HFMI taking a very risky play and paying for it. Aftershock will be nice to help push out those players down in dark.
Well, not to mention the fault line that's there. Off of the paranoia, the dash out, trying to catch him as they're funneling out. Kiwi actually falls to the utility. But ASE in a great position here. Wingman finding nothing. Crack swing on the other side of the smoke, still healthy. On the swing, and he wasn't healthy for long as he falls. So does the rest of FUT.
They strike so fast on that retake. That's the second one FUT have lost now on A side, and it's because of that speed.
They're supposed to be fighting back, right?
And also just really good combos there. You called out the stun for Mishen, the aftershock as well that went down in the dark, and then the dash over by Life. Oh, Kiwi made an attempt. That angle of the aftershock could allow him to updraft out there. But this one covers all the bases. They're down to Eco. Speak about a bad start. Losing that bonus
right there
is huge. Now he's up to an Odin too. You saw when they went to Seaside, he's able to spam out players that are trying to hide in default. You'd see that become a theme if he is very, very interested in it.
Maj a little bit further up here. And I think that's where they're expecting the turret that's been there a couple of times. You saw the ping on the minimap and the smoke followed. But at this point, they should know that the turret is not there. It cannot be heard.
Just a Marshall. Just trying to find the angle onto Bunt. Little damage done, but he's tucked and safe. And 50 seconds right now. They're going to go for the exec, but without the big weaponry. 2 players on the site, though, they could take him down.
Bunt stun. Bonk, though, goes undetected.
Is that Odin spam?
I mean, it just looks so effortless when it seems like that. A 3K for the Sentinel.
China starting off strong in this game. Honestly, it feels like nothing going other than that A take, which they get on, but then they can't play the post plant positions. And that's a frustrating start, too. Because they specifically positioned themselves under in dark when that aftershock came through in the last round. And this time, too, that Dizzy not finding any value for the Gecko of cracks. With this Haven composition, you've seen plenty of times. Flash down, hold on, stun as well.
It's fast, and that's another punish.
That's a free kill onto Mr. Fallen, the smoker. They either need to speed up or start looking and spreading for picks instantly.
The setup for it was so pretty. They had the fault line, they invested the paranoia out from Bunt too.
And look at the follow-up too. They've got the KJ util here.
I dropped the spike.
To delay even further. Don't get ahead of it. I don't even think the first one was popped there. I think they got up close enough.
His shock darts have caused a couple of problems already, and it's so early.
This time, huge ults though for FUT. Counter ult coming in as well as that breach ult. Plenty of time to run back onto the site here.
Oh, they're dropping the Rolling Thunder as well? Kiwi gets 2
Did they both get detained? Both of them in long got detained right now. No punish though.
I mean, everyone's detained. It's just like we've thrown a pause on the round. 4 players detained in that instance. Action back ensuing though is Bunt, clearing every angle that he can. Still presence in short. Via Maj, Bonk trying to find it. Oh, there was a dink there, but that's all it was. HFMI cannot convert. Footer on the board.
HFMI, the safety valve there to help when they swing, but nowhere near able to defuse at that point too, so they just went all in. If it wasn't for those 2 key ults though, FUT probably would have lost that round. They didn't have the tools to take down the lockdown.
Oh, that second one.
That's nasty. I'm still shocked how they got detained in the first place. Felt to me like Kiwi was out of there. Maybe his gun barrel sticking through, FUT sticking through.
I'll show you, scary Omen.
3 ults online for FUT, including Gecko's.
Get out of my way.
We'll see how they choose to use it. Here the Blades used right off the bat. For Kiwi, meanwhile, an op in the hands of Life. Blade spotted. Not a single shot fired.
Replace the KJ over here inside of this 2. Just barely popped before he was about to use a Thrash. Just could have canceled it, brought him out of it. Use the wingman instead.
Oh yeah!
Here it comes into B. Ult in the back of the site as well for Mr. Fallen.
Make sure no one's there. Recalls Thrash back. Picks it up to run one more time. Meanwhile, Hunter's Fury invested here, this time from HFMI. Boy, was he patient with that. But nothing found. Now they're going to invest the Rolling Thunder and the Paranoid. They're going to try to push him up, but the counter flash from Mr. Fallen is excellent.
The spike's still not planted here.
And that's the second Thrash. The second Thrash hit short. I think it delayed. Caught two. But HFMI causing problems. They're surrounded. I don't think they know where Maj is. It may not matter. In a position to save the round himself. Bunt trying to take it down, and he cannot. Add a captain 1v2, 20 HP. Start to see a couple of bullets whiz by his ear as he's gonna find the timing. He's got a shot to make a play here, but it's just not enough health.
That was a classic?
20 HP, it doesn't take much.
Life swapped to it instantly too. I like that Yuchen walks all the way around to go to start that defuse while Life actually turns around. Causes a little bit of misdirection for Atta Captain in that situation. Did get a detain here, like you said, but he did not spot HFMI in the corner. And that's the key detail. Frustration now definitely going to start to be seen on the FUT side. No timeout called. And this is a force up. You've got a judge in the hands of Mr. Fallen. Weapons for everybody else. Need to start seeing some pace with these executes rather than the map control style.
See, Life can post up a chore with the op, and you have Ishin playing in link.
Wow.
Able to dump utility and cause problems. Fault line still in play here. Finally used. Meanwhile, HFMI getting the kill.
It's so interesting there. They tucked inside of that cubby, specifically to dodge util and the drone. And then they use util anyways. Life, an easy kill on Amaj for sure.
But a little fear.
I'm wondering what FUT is thinking with these ideas so far.
They're going to get through out onto the site. But between the op and the Odin on the other side, this could be problematic. It could be disastrous, but no. Cracks with the response.
HFMI still down short. They know he was there.
Cracks caught. Reloading. Fight still even, though. Both survive with not much HP. I mean, a total of 21 amongst both. How do you sidestep that shot? He's just waiting. He knows there's going to be a swing. He's just got to be patient with it, and HFMI gets it. But Mr. Fallen clutching it back, and now with just 11 HP, what can HFMI do? Nothing. What a save by Mr. Fallen.
And they needed that. Seems to me that they're starting to rely on just taking raw duels with these players. I think you think back to the Turkish scene in general. Yes, that's the reputation that they've had, but FUT is the one that broke that reputation. So I'm shocked at the ideas that are coming through, but it ends up working out. They get their second round on the board. And the reason why I'm saying that, that's just a dry walk up, challenging against an op of all things. Going back into that space. That Tasova just drone, and again, they go down deep.
Off
nice
the
little updraft too for the Knives to follow up, but the combination doesn't quite find anything. Remember last time with that same idea, they caught Mr. Fallen. Enemy.
Where do they go from here? Mr. Fallen has his ult. That's all they have for now. Meanwhile, Bun is taking a fair amount of damage. There's the ult. Got over there quick.
Okay. Add some misdirection. Look at the players clearing spawn right now. Yishen really wondering, is he up in heaven? It's funny too, Monk didn't reposition. If he wasn't heaven, he might have been dead.
The judge from that distance. It's pretty, and there's help. There's help not far off. He's just having himself a good time. Both of them are really. Between the judge and the Odin, the round should be secured. Unless Maj does something ridiculous. He's already gotten two. It'll have to be an ace for him to pull it off. Bunt
30
weak.
seconds left.
But the Knives close the deal.
6-2 now. Attacking Seoul Esports dominating when it comes down to it. And actually, Monk heard the TP the entire time. That's why you could stick right in that position. He knew where the Omen was.
I respect that so much. Jumping out of the smoke with the judge. He's taking that fight, man. He's going.
So far, FUT have not shown up in the server, and very, very reminiscent of that very first map against EG.
Yep.
It's a strong start from EG. And the ideas that FUT were throwing out were just not quite enough, and they are mixing things up. Going for even different styles of gameplay.
That's a deep smoke for Mr. Fallen. That Kiwi's tucked into right now.
Maybe allows for this two-way pinch from this side if Kiwi wants out of the smoke.
Perhaps
They're close to that C-Link.
Spike planted.
Spike still invested. HFMI taking care of the duelist. That flash is just so good, but my goodness, man, nothing working. Yeah, it's just pistols. But for ASE, an opportunity to really balloon things financially.
They just both ran through the molly to go for knives. Are you kidding me? Disrespect.
It's silly.
But honestly, deserved right now. I think ASE is wondering the same thing that most people are right now. Where is FUT?
Yeah.
Because they just full blinded 4 players in C-Link, 3 of them shooting at them, and they just can't find a single kill. How do you recoup from this?
That's the question they're going to have to try to solve here as FUT call the first time out of the map. They find themselves down 5 on the attacking side of Haven.
I mean, I spoke about potential problems with the mental in regaining from slow starts like this.
Yeah.
I think throughout the EMEA season, we saw, especially once Ada Captain came in as a starting role, not playing a 6-man.
Yep.
It definitely gave some energy to the team. One of those players that no matter what happens can stay in it. Very vocal for the team. But other than that, it's still difficult for the rest of that. It clearly still remains. And it will be him who my eyes are on right now. He himself is struggling 3-8. The score doesn't really matter in this instance. That's not what really is important. Although the kills aren't falling for FUT. It's the confidence issue that's lacking right now.
Yeah. You see the ults on your screen. For FUT, they do have the lockdown for Maj. Cracks and Ad Captain both just a couple of points away from having their ults online, respectively.
Econ not really an issue.
Nope.
I mean, it could be the reason why it continues to balloon, but let's see it.
I'll find them.
3 more rounds in this half. They need to turn this around. They're known for dominant halves on both sides of this map.
He's so far up. I mean, he's just calling the bluff.
This is scary. I mean,
That's not a jet.
Continue, no.
Yeah. Oh, but they apply pressure from short, too. Bunt's already so far up. Playing in the smoke.
Uses flash, too, and I love that idea, actually. That wall very spammable by that Odin. HFMI. Really knows his stuff on this map. Swaps it with Yu-Chan as well. Two big picks.
And the op for life is going to have to be big. Wow, the timing on that was insane.
He had insane moments in the last game against DRX.
How is he still alive? He's got a shorty! Oh. It's a terrifying jump on the other side, but Bunt! That transfer was filthy! Not able to get the 4th, the 1v1.
That alarm bot might be down right now. He just pulled it away.
No way, he has
Does
no
he
idea.
know?
Oh, he does. 48 HP.
He can't recover the spike yet.
40 seconds left. He's got to reposition. The health is low! And HFMI with the clutch.
What a ridiculous round.
Dude, it does not look like they're playing with elimination on the mind.
No.
They're playing so loose. They're having fun.
I think they came into the series thinking, oh, like 100% this is dire for us. We're in this situation. But they came in, won a few rounds, and they're like, what is going on? And now for FUT, none of those rounds are falling. They get the 2 opening picks, and that's not falling for you? The issues just compile and compound.
Lighter buy for the attacking side. You see it, Stingers, Spectres, smattered assortment of weaponry. And Mr. Fallen has gotten up, see, very far, just contacting. The swing is there.
They're coming one by one, Doug.
Yeah, they are. That is a terrifying prospect. ASE just continue to roll. Nice. Yeah, the crowd likes that.
those sorts of things too in this moment. Elimination on the mind of FUT. Champions qual spot on the mind of FUT. This first half, it's got to be hurting them, and I'm sorry, but that last round again, desperation to me. You see Maj running in by himself. You see the second player following up by himself. A player of Mr. Fallen coming out of the smoke. They call a fast strat, but it seems like ego there, saying we've got to be able to beat them with something basic.
Oh yeah!
This time bunts, the one hopping. Not able to land the shot. You hear the ult use from Cracks.
He has a Vandal on the back of sight.
He's not going to get to use it. Paranoia's not going to. Wait.
Hello?
No.
Hello?
You check him, right?
Counter breach ult.
No!
Wow.
How is he alive? Finally dies in the least expected moment.
But all the time.
Down, C.
And now he's maybe be able to place this lockdown, but it's not going to be safe. You have to get out.
Look at where life is.
Hello?
He's behind them. And watch it. Oh, he toggled right back into it.
There's a player detained on the other side right now. HFMI is alone against Maj. He's back in the action.
Monk weak.
Last
With the
player
swing.
standing.
Dies. HFMI, have him do it himself. A 1v3. Nothing. FUT managed to somehow stabilize through the chaos of that opening moment on the round.
I mean, if
To get to 3.
if Bunt comes out of that detain from the crash that Cracks used and gets kills there, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
But at least some solace as they get one more round in that first half. Look at this again. Chaos, multiple ults, multiple flashes. HFMI tracks him with that Hunter's Fury. But at least,
But then also, that's something you and I would say.
Dog, I had a lot of unintentional ones, but I respect it, GG. Let's go, baby.
9-3 for ASE. What can FUT do to equalize? Remember, that was the attacking side for them too, man. Like, that's when you're supposed to amass a lead. They just weren't able to.
I've seen streaks from them on both sides, but it always starts off in the first half. I mean, that matters a lot for this team. And maybe that's why this being their map pick here is an issue. And that's a Sheriff headshot from across the map. Mr. Fallen just going for a jump peek. Would love to see that on the replay.
Yeah, that's also now really no smokes on the defensive side for FUT with Mr. Fallen down. Early in the round, too.
Kiwi's getting info here, but does not want to end up in that same situation that we saw live in the first round of the game. Isolated and alone. So he falls back. And ASE. We've already seen quite a few moments like this where they end up being able to regroup in the first half on the retakes and have solid executes. Now waiting for that fault line to come back up so that they can use it for taking the C side. But as you can see, FUT again with the scared play. They rotate around and full stack this A site because they lose one player.
Yeah, you saw Cracks shortly after Mr. Fallen goes down. Cracks checked C.
They're not even hearing the spike plant go down right now.
He checked C and then rotated all the way back to A where the bunch is. Now they've realized we've lost full control of the map, rotating back.
Saving grace here. Still so much util for Cracks, still so much util for Out of Captain. His fault line is back up, but they've got to get in positions to be able to retake fast, and they've got to find ones. But the rest of the team is just falling off. There's no smokes on this play.
Life falls. Kiwi's still healthy. You see them all playing down long, and that could be a problem for ASE. That shock dart's gonna hurt though. Cracks has gotten into half. He's gonna get it the whole way. It's a pistol for FUT.
Those kills came in fast.
Yeah, they did.
They just relied on the gunfight, so finally, the Turkish aim coming through. For the players on FUT. His first shot.
That was gross.
Mr. Fallen was trying to challenge there, though, so that's the sort of mistake that you definitely want to see him. I mean, talking about discipline, there you're supposed to be jump spotting. I mean, almost every single time, especially when you don't have, when you are a very important role on your team, and you also don't have a Sheriff for that long range one tap. Ghost doesn't do that.
Raven really helped to fight back with. He was by
There's a
himself.
force. There's a force here.
That's a big one.
Full armor, Stingers on deck. What?
What?
That's the Vandal!
All right. A 1-for-1.
I like that play, but Kiwi needs to be hitting that. Got to get back into that quick before they end up getting pinched on the C side. And you saw all of the FUT players falling off as that execute came in, but now they're in a situation where things are even. I mean, the guns are even.
Vandal.
Almost, they do recover the Vandal.
Yeah, it's in the hands of Cracks right now. But ASE on C, putting their foot down, trying to hold them back, not playing off-site. And they're just not, I mean, they're so cautious about it. They're so meticulous about it.
3 players through garage, through a smoke is the play you want to make.
Remember, this is the one gun that they have. Trying to swing into 2 stingers like that is just not going to work. ASE gamble, they invest, they went out for it.
I mean, that's the right play, man. What you're seeing out of FUT, you cannot respect him if you're ASE. You need to continue to keep this foot on the gas against them. Keep them down, keep them thinking. Keep them believing that they don't have what it takes right now. Hey,
That's
reach.
That's so wholesome.
10-4. How can you come into this game thinking that that might be the scoreline on the first map?
Yeah. I mean, and for FUT, really, to understand you're down 9-3 at half, you win the pistol, and you go, okay, now is an opportunity for us to snowball this. Let's get through the next round cleanly. To lose that round, find yourself back on a broken bye.
Oh, you start talking about going next?
Yeah, at this point.
I got the spike.
Scary position they find themselves in.
Spike dropped.
Kiwi's got to come alive. This guy has been so inconsistently playing throughout the entire season. Sometimes, and oftentimes, you see him beasting the server.
Yeah.
It's just not been there. Maybe the defensive half will be where he comes alive, but he's got to get that up online.
And he's running out of time for it, too.
Look at the full rotate again. I mean, this is called early, 50 seconds. They're going to go for an execute. They're going to meet them this time.
They're in the right place. See him trying to play around the Cloudburst, but everyone flashed up, and FUT finding value with the pistols. But you still don't have the real weaponry to fight back.
I mean, they're trying to hold on to these guns, but they're going to have to give it up, which means lots of upgraded weapons right now. FUT full eco on this one.
30 seconds left.
Take some weapons.
No? None? One.
Only Maj.
Okay.
I mean, there was only 2 guns on the site, so
Recalling my ball.
maybe there wasn't even one for life. Or HFMI.
Placing swarm grenade.
Either way, Maj has a little bit more. 13 seconds left. Playing in the smoke, waiting, jumping out at the same time. Maj finding value with the Vandal. Still healthy. But not for long. I mean, FUT are just struggling.
And I'm not even, I mean, I'm still thinking back to whether there was a gun on the floor there. As that could have made the difference against Bunt's Bulldog. An eco where they could have blazed their way forward. Instead, 2 rounds away from hitting rock bottom. On this first map, again, their map pick, it's elimination day. We're sending 2 teams home today. One of these 2 right here.
Cover going out. Cover going out.
It's so early, but they find themselves in such dangerous territory. Meanwhile, for ASE, you imagine, it looks tasty. The opportunity to make history. But you've got to be able to close it out. Bunt, expecting pressure. The cue of utility, and the swing as he falls.
There it is, out of captain. They trade back Mr. Fallen, who again fell early to that long C peak. This mosh pit's not going to delay them.
No, he's ahead of it.
The flash actually pings.
Cracks patiently waiting. And the patience is punished. They have so many tools, man. They've got the spike down. Yeah, they're a little weak, but they have the Rolling Thunder. No real qualms with investing at this late. And you see him playing off now. He's already tucked in Cubby down too long.
They're not even sure whether they want to save or not here.
They also have a reflank out from Bunt in case things get really hairy.
Aftershock will be good.
Oh, they
Player
He
standing.
fully
killed him.
commit, and there's no challenge. Atta Captain has a chance to reposition.
Did you hear him?
Bunt not moving. The tap, the paranoia, the swing, and Atta Captain with it! Well done, and maybe that's the catalyst.
He's the guy who stays active no matter what, delivering with a Red Bull clutch. And potentially saving hopes for FUT on this first map. The Aftershock perfect as the breach ult comes out from Yushen. That's wholesome.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, that
cheering
was-
for ASE right there. Still respect the clutch put out from Ada Captain. But obviously they're happy, fully in the driving seat are the attacking Seoul Esports players. Mr. Fallen cannot lose this beat. I love that they're challenging him. They've killed him twice already. Go for it more. And he's the IGL too.
No! I thought Life was gonna go aggressive on Mr. Fallen, but instead goes up top, clears out cracks. And now creeping forward. They invest the lockdown though as a counter to buy some time.
They're still spread out on the map. They're not even ready to necessarily commit to this C-side, and that lockdown gets baited out, but they still lose.
He's
killed.
He's tucked in.
They know he's here. Oh my goodness, there
Do
could be
they?
a massive flank. If they end up hitting that A side or B side, they're rotating again early. They're trying to stack the right place.
They have no idea where he is. There's no way.
This could be the end.
They just smoked down long. They're guessing. Maj is dead.
Blocking sight.
And now it's gonna open up C. Remember, he was tucked in the tiniest of corners around the lockdown.
Crazy. We saw them spamming considering it, but when the spam didn't catch him,
Yeah.
they fall off. Life going for way too much here, but he should get this kill. And I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no more breach ult. You're looking at that as the key factor in the retake attempt from FUT. Now it has to be pure heroics.
A total of 19 HP across the two remaining members. And they have no, I mean, they don't want the heat, man.
I mean, yeah. 19 HP, like you said. And what a decision to make on
Yeah.
giving up match point.
You wonder in situations like that, you're right. It's an incredibly difficult decision to make, right? You risk it because you're down big and you need to make a play, or you just play it safe, which really has felt like it's been FUT's approach this entire half.
I mean, I would disagree with that, actually, in terms of the way that they're playing these defensive side rotates. I think in general,
rotating
yes.
early.
But
Sure.
they're rotating early. That's
Sure,
a
sure,
gamble.
sure.
And again, this round, it's the same thing. Twice now. It's been a massive error.
Give me those back.
Last round, it ended up working out, but just barely. This round, it hurts them. In spades, Maj just completely unaware of that possibility of the flank. This match point for attacking Seoul Esports, this will be their first map win. On the international stage, their first appearance.
You wouldn't believe it with how they've played. Look how far up Kiwi is. Is Monk aware? Does he know? The narrowest of margins in regards to time. Monk, no real possibility to know that that's where Kiwi is.
It's important there. Flash was invested, but he did not dash. That's the cue normally that you know somebody's pushing up. And also there was no smoke for Mr. Fallen on the one-way angle. Normally Mr. Fallen is doing this by himself, so I like this change from FUT. Definitely something that they've switched up coming into this game.
Swarm grenade.
Oh, they know now.
That's cool. Little molly into the cubby to clear it out. But Kiwi's still holding.
And he finds one for it. That's got to feel bad if you're HFMI, right? Monk has been there the entire time.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't die.
I mean, he was ready for it too. So.
Yeah, yeah.
They're setting up to go through garage here, not towards B, which would be what this lockdown indicates. But it does also take the space in garage for them. Kiwi loves these elevated off
30
angles.
seconds left.
Could do some damage here.
Monk falls. There it is, Kiwi. You're right. Damage found.
Spike down. C.
Leaving Bun alone. A 1v4. Mr. Fallen's weak. But it's going to take a little bit more than just one weak member to pull this one off. With 13 seconds left, committing to the spike. Ada Captain with utility. That paranoia. Oh my gosh, we hit all three. Woo!
Wow. I mean, that is so close from pure disaster.
Yep. The fact that they scattered was their saving grace.
I think Maj was full blind when he got the kill too. You were thinking a little bit. There's like 1 second left on that tournament. Sheesh.
FUT not done quite yet. They get up to 6. They have the Rolling Thunder for Ada Captain too. But they have to put together a streak. They've got to put together some sort of momentum.
There's got to be a huge clean round, some sort of multi-kill, some sort of momentum swinging thing.
Yeah.
Not just, I mean, there was that clutch from Ada Captain. That definitely can help. But that was so long ago at this point. And now they're faced with match point 2.
It's a setup that they have here. Smoking the fault line and taking space short. No, the dart keeps him back. Well considered by HFMI.
I love just sending it here.
Try to bully their way through. There are a lot of defenses from FUT here. Out of captain repositioning. There's the Rolling Thunder. And it's going to hit them all. Nobody's out onto the site yet except for Life, who's dead. Kiwi on the swing. Shoulder spotted. Nothing but an elbow.
They still want to go in the side. They pivoted a few times, but they didn't do that much against DRX.
Will the persistence pay off? Or will it be punished? It is. A flawless round for FUT.
I hate to say it, but probably best to play as a team. So, what's the plan?
ASE. I like the ideas that they've thrown in the last couple of rounds where, you know, you're trying to go against what so far has worked, trying to find the weaknesses, for example, looking to hit Mr. Fallen's sight immediately where you've gotten 2 early picks against him. And now as well, stepping up the tempo on this ASE side, the opposite side of the map, which they really haven't been exploring much. But at this point, you need to start going for the basics, the way that you got to this scoreline in the first place.
They're down on a life eye. It's actually just Ishin with a stinger.
Monk has been destroying
Yeah,
players on these first kills across the map with the Sheriff without.
Just pounding. Kiwi's playing backseat by himself.
Here.
And it looks like they're going to rotate out of garage. Perhaps leave a few. Oh, there's an insane fight about to happen short. Remember, it's Ishin who has the stinger, and that's it. Swinging the fault line's not going to tag anyone.
Surprised to see him not being ready to receive and fault line off the contact of the player with the knife. Second kill for Monk. Just a Sheriff. Stacking bodies on that B side. Pulling the rotates again. This time off the A side, and there's going to be 2 guns picked up. He's throwing them over to his teammates.
You should be able to hear it. Well, Kiwi's so far up. Monk is aware.
30 seconds.
Remember, the Sheriff has already found 2.
They didn't plant the spike yet. Not sure exactly what to do, looking for more picks. Kiwi should hear that turret still up.
Now they're surrounded. Kiwi still rotating through, applying pressure. See that paranoia as the 2 remaining members of ASE now return their focus to the site. Wanting to play around the flash. It's pretty. It's well done.
Seems to me FUT finally arriving on the server. Stringing together a couple now. But that was an anti-eco.
Right. And the
Monk,
benefit.
I mean, he's finding entries.
My double's dead.
Take a look at that second one again. 3 bullets, 2 kills, not a bad rate. I will say too, as much as FUT have put together 3 rounds in a row now, 4 of the last 5, when you find yourself up 9-3 at half, you can afford to lose a couple, right? ASE still have a pretty long runway to play around. Obviously, you want to close it out as quickly as you can, but if things go askew, it's not the end of the world.
Fast control of A long. Ada Captain has to back off despite stunning. Doesn't have his partner in crime of Kiwi to peek off of that.
He just used blades. And he has the op.
Popped in the middle of the round too.
They haven't seen him. I wonder if when ASE hear that, given what they've seen on the map, wonder what it is that they're getting a read on.
That info peek with the ult from Mr. Fallen. Spots 1 in A lobby. I think he saw the breach though. And with the timing, he just saw that moments ago. I'm not sure if they're going to bite on this one. Now the timing suggests they could be over towards that C side, but still not pulling anybody.
Oh, how does Monk sidestep that? That was so close. That fall line's gonna cause problems. Oh, Life doesn't get over the top.
Self flash.
Slaps his shins right into the box. And now dropping down. No value found. But ASE managing to find a way around it anyway. Bunt with 2 big kills. And it leaves FUT in tatters. Just 2 remain. Those 2 might be enough. We heard the blades early in the round from Kiwi. Oh, what's the cue? He wanted to go fast, but instantly spotted in the window. trying to take the peek out, trying to find someone, and he cannot. Maj 1v3 to keep the map alive. Not gonna convert. ASE take down FUT.
Whether he was mad or whether he was trying to find ways to stay positive. I think I lean more towards the mad side. And I think as looking at that game from the outside in, I think you have to be mad. How can you energize the team, though? That's the big question. Dashing forward, Life is immediately, and there's the first entry from Krags.
Right into the next round. Kiwis here, drop both jets down. Mr. Fallen's 15 HP, clinging on to dear life.
And they don't get in.
No.
They try to inject some speed, but they don't get in. Flashed used again. Really concern on FUT. However, this map is a good second map after losing in a pretty horrendous way, despite the scoreline, because you can get this streak on defense.
Right.
This is a map where momentum can shift very, very easily.
Right here.
And it might be what FUT need. Because right now, they stand to be the first team to lose to a Chinese team on the international stage. And also to fail for their country, which they haven't produced a team capable of competing at these global events since 2021. Until now. Or at least we thought.
Chance is still there. The 3 remaining members of ASE are trying to find their way into A, and that's gonna help. Maj down. What, they're gonna get another? They're both just so weak, though.
One enemy remaining.
Surely they don't pull off some heroics like this. HFMI with nothing but 6 HP tries to swing out. Captain gets 3.
Biggest problem there is they tried to go 2 up close gen and 1 player taking a route over towards the right side of site, and that would clear out the site. That's why they get 2 kills. But unfortunately leaves the spike stranded. Sitting out in the open. So the 2 players remaining in gen have to make a play out of it. It's way too hard. Love the smoke from Bunt as well. Bunt was, in my mind, even though I saw Monk at the top of the leaderboard in the last game, Bunt was really making plays left and right. Some key rounds that FUT had chances to win. He shut down.
Agreed. Bunt was very good.
Capitalized on a lot of the mistakes out of FUT side.
I did like this out of them at the opening of the round. They throw a nano to clear some space B, make sure there's no one pushing up, and they get the alarm brought down. Meanwhile, Kiwi applying pressure on the opposite side of the map.
Big pick.
Cover going out.
Now Yishen early. Not that there was much for Yishen.
Smoked off the alarm bot.
They smoked it anyways. Talked about that deep one.
Yeah.
It's very easy to hear, very easy to spot that is getting put down, so you have to consider the fact that ASE have options to fight through it.
Dart not tagging anyone. Kiwi looking for a little bit of extra damage with the Marshall 3. Not landing the 4th, but it's a Prime Gaming flawless anyway.
When you think about the clean rounds, they have not come through for FUT.
No.
At all in this series so far. There's the first. And I know it's just an anti-eco, but they're so important. I spoke about this map being a place where they can start to get these streaks going. Kiwi is one of those guys who must get going. You're not asking for one of those legendary 30-bomb performances or anything from him. You're just asking for him to lead the team here. Might be a shark attack. Flash over top, second flash paranoia through. He's going deep for it, but nobody here from ASE to receive, and they might speed up into A because of it.
It's interesting too, is ASE were playing further back than they normally would right off the bat. It's like they were expecting it. They knew there was a possibility for it, and they play around it.
For a second, like the FUT players might want to flood against this reaction into this A side. Instead, it'll be a full 5v5 retake with 4 weaponry on the side of.
Oh. Shock dart and a nano.
Insta-kill on that. That's beautiful stuff.
No flank, it's just gonna be from heaven and from tree. ASE with site control for now.
Wow.
That knife is big. ASE not able to hold the site. We may have another bonus on our hands. This would have to be huge out of Bunt and Monk. And it's all just on to Bunt now. It's the diffuser's already gotten half. They swing out on the turret. Bunt gets another, but that's a bonus. FUT with a big lead here.
That's very nice stuff. And that retake. I mean, how do you hold on if you're ASE? Not only to lose the planter after the spike gets planted, so there's that, but then you have the space-breaking TP in from Captain. Really, really nice stuff. Gotta commend that Yuto combo. Guys talked about playing as a team, doing the things that were done at EMEA, and that's straight out of the Fnatic playbook. That sort of style of retake, lovely stuff out of FUT.
Both knives used right off the bat. Mid and market cleared. Oof. Kiwi taking a lot of damage through the spam.
ASE do have another significant buy here. So dangerous round still. These deep alarm bots are so nice out of Maj.
Great.
That's a Sentinel who really relies on his aim and his fragging ability and not necessarily setups with his team. And he does lose. Captain is playing close. His job was to hold against him.
Had a chance at it there. Remember Kiwi at the beginning of the round, 6 spam damage, now down to 12 HP, no armor. Trying to find a cheeky angle to get a kill. But there's just nothing materializing, at least not yet.
These pivots are great out of Attacking Soul. They got a 2-2 split going, and HFMI is going to go on the lurk.
Question is, how patient is Kiwi? Wow. And yeah, there wasn't much health to him, but a great response from HFMI into it. Meanwhile, Crack's playing in the smoke. The swing out is there! He gets 2! FUT's defense is scattered. They're still 1A. Leaving Mr. Fallen on site by himself, and he cannot hold them back.
HFMI could get the info of where he's coming from, too. They worked the map beautifully in that one.
A 1v3 necessary for Maj to pull this round out. Consideration of time and HFMI's positioning evident. And the possibility for more, but the swing out for Monk is just too good. Very well done. Off of that, ASE get the round. They have a couple of ults close online too. Man, Crack's eating out the damage he was looking for peeking out of that smoke. But it still just wasn't enough.
I was thinking a lot how these two teams could end up matching up. Specifically thinking about the experience in moments like this, elimination. FUT obviously played at lock-in. ASE is one of the few teams at this team who did not. The only team. So you're thinking they could just be as streaky. Kiwi with the first entry again. They're gonna put pressure on this B side. It worked last time.
Life is going up into spawn again.
Good KO to respond. They fall all the way back.
Monk is gonna try to do some of the same. It was a counter punch. The left and the right. It was Life. It was Monk.
All the way through spawn. Are you kidding me? And the chase is on. They might be able to peek spawn before they get up this ramp.
HFMI with the op.
I mean, he's holding a great angle to actually prevent them. Captain's in for a world of hurt, but he needs to make heroic plays here because HFMI has cut off the rotates.
The one benefit is maybe you don't consider his position. Now spotted. And Paranoia is going to hit both, but it's a great response from ASE. That was so well done, and that's like that flavor, that brand of ASE Valorant that everyone was excited to see, right? Life pushing up mid, Monk pushing through spawn at B, crunching spawn.
Reminds me of some of those early Paper X games where they found success at Copenhagen.
Yep.
Where it's just like, you never expect these sort of lurk timings.
One enemy remaining.
And the sort of adaptations that you can make off of them. Life finding a gap, Monk finding a gap. We saw Monk with huge success on that attacking side against them on Haven. Things starting to spiral for FUT here.
They're keeping the attack side up.
Oh! TP up forward with the flash to cover and doesn't find anything, but there was definitely an opportunity.
Yeah, there was.
It's a nice little play. Seen it quite a bit in EMEA for them.
Kiwi looking for an opportunity here, getting one. But once again, Monk's timing is flawless.
It's the same engagement that happened in the last round.
Yeah.
Kiwi against each end.
A pause on the round. You see Life still with the op, still with 4 members up and 4 ults to their name.
Recalling my boss.
Any round that you can get, this is an anti-eco for ASE, but you've got to secure this sort of thing when you're playing on this attack side.
You should run.
And they will invest the lockdown. They're out with it, though.
Mr. Fallen now cleared in hell. He's still causing problems! How does he get 3? The 4th available and the 4th delivered.
Nasty stuff. So not only do ASE invest the lockdown in that, but they lose in the light buy situation to them dealing as an anti-eco.
I mean, you were just saying, too, they needed to convert that. Given the side that they're on, they've got to get through those cleanly.
That's the overconfidence that can stem from inexperience. Right there. You just wait for the lockdown. And all of a sudden, all you have to deal with is Mr. Fallen. Instead, you have a player coming through tree at the same time. Fast play with the own null command.
Oh, they're not slowing it down at all. Life falls. Monk does too. Kiwi still playing up close and personal. Not able to get away, but Mr. Fallen's the support.
Down B.
He's the help, and that was a fast one. As Ishan's the only one that remains. Wow.
Sitting duck in the final moments.
Need a drop.
5-2 now for FUT. This is definitely a good start. And rounds like that again. I mean, investing ults, going for fast plays. You shut those down. What more tools do ASE have? That was the big issue in their game against DRX, was running. A little bit.
Yeah, a little more loose, a little more swagger.
And trying to punish, trying to end the game with,
Yeah.
not style, but speed.
Going out.
All right, they forced into it, for example, after losing the pistol. That was successful, but then they started throwing in fast rounds. You're seeing the same sort of signs here on this ascent.
And to go back to the roles you said they saw on their attacking side on Haven, you expect to see more of those here on Ascent. Question is, how much of that can they mitigate?
Reclear from FUT, coming in towards short. HFMI is exploring alone. Have to say, FUT are winning consistently these first engagements.
Yeah, they are. Which is just such a difference from what we saw in the previous map.
Yeah, ASE had chances and things to look out to fight for those first engagements. Remember, they were really taking it to Mr. Fallen on that seaside.
They invested so much utility to try to clear Monk there. Shock Dart, a Paranoia.
I'm typically okay with that on the anti-eco.
Yeah.
Because you have a wealth of utility in comparison to the other side. But in this case, actually, there's a lot of saved util from the prior rounds. So Hunt still has his flash. You have 2 smokes. You have a smoke from Life too. All the util out of the KO.
FUT's here. They have 3. One of them is so weak. I mean, both of them are taking a considerable amount of damage. This is far from done. He's going to be able to upgrade a weapon. Get the plant down. Yep, 10 seconds left, but he's planting out in the open. It's bold. It's risky, but how does he find the timing? How does he get it down? The dart gives him away.
looked like he wanted to stick the plant in the first instance.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then he gets off to look for the kill, which I think maybe somebody may be calling out that he has his ult to pivot, but there's just not enough time there. So he looks for a kill, and then he realizes the situation. That was the first thing I looked to after he picked up that Vandal, is if he swings over towards A, maybe there's a chance. But instead, you're playing with full information from FUT, knowing that he just planted the spike on the site, knowing that he's trying to plant it on the spike. Kiwi with an op. Posted towards B. We have slowed down significantly since that timeout from ASE. 2 players pushing their way up towards tree as well. KJ Util is there. They've doubled up inside of A main for the FUT defense. And again, these aggressive info pieces, that turret. Protecting for ADA Captain, who's pushed himself into one right now. This setup is really good. I'm looking at Yishen as well, up top mid.
Again, they just continue to hit that area of the map and find success in it.
It's funny, look at Monk, he's the passive player in this. Yishen is just walking up mid by himself. It's not the Jet. They did pop those nano swarms inside of Cat. This split is tough for Kiwi to deal with.
Surrounded, nothing. Do they check Mr. Fallen? Oh, he has to go into the nano, and he spammed through the smoke.
Last player standing.
What a hit from ASE. After now 2 rounds where they have found value from getting an early pick aggressively in spawn.
Yeah, and remember, I was just mentioning how the early picks have been going towards FUT.
Enemy down. Placing sentry.
These sort of mid rounds are fantastic.
Finding those tiny windows and making something happen out of them has been the calling card for ASE. That's what gotten them to this point, and that's what gets them to the 3rd round.
Slow burn on this attack side is important here for ASE. To convert on a scent there, Matt pick.
Wow.
And there's no chance there for Kiwi. I mean, I've seen nasty things from him, but that's real tough when you're getting split on from market with no help. The Omen TP was way too late. Not to add captain because they were busy trying to re-clear A main and going for a flank with 50 seconds on the map. You thought, yeah, there's a chance. Still got the op up, though.
And you see the positioning, right? An adjustment. This time he's posted a mid, a bit more aggressive.
Let's get knifed, though, so they know his position. Ooh, oof. Great spam for Maj. Actually, potentially saves Kiwi there from spam as he crosses. Ult possible.
There it is. They waited for it a little bit.
Wow. 2 tags there in between the TPs. His initial hit was trying to target Life, by the way, but Bunt got stuck inside of the space that Life left.
Had a captain with a paranoia, 2 on the other side.
Got to be careful with the spam after this follow-up. He's waiting for potentially maybe that turret's on top of the box. Or the drone.
There it is. Oh! What?
I told you, man, that spam is dangerous. And they're not looking for this A side even. Monk's gonna try to get the kill, but he loses the opportunity. Life dashing up mid again. Great reposition from Mr. Fallen, completely understanding, knowing that those 2 players were just in A main moments ago.
I mean, he had the potential to cut off the rotations and secure the round, but you're right. Mr. Fallen saves the day. Or at least you'd assume with how weak the 2 remaining members of ASE are. Gonna get the spike down and they'll get a little bit of extra money out of it. And the ult. Dropping the knife, repositioning, expecting pressure from Heaven, but no, he's found them all. Flash will buy some time, but the swing goes right into his death.
And they all 3 came through door, which, great idea, but they also all could have gotten flashed.
Yeah. Looked like he swung just a hair ahead of the flash.
Yeah, it's tough on the back of Gen. There's not much room to work with there. When you don't know how far they've scaled up, yeah. It's not as easy. Wow. That reposition from Mr. Fallen, I mean, that's it. And the fact that he actually hangs on against Monk, Monk has found massive success. Mr. Fallen stepped up this game. Along with Kiwi. That should, honestly, based off of the last map, be enough to carry them through this defensive side. Still 2 more to play, though. Difference between a 9-3 And a 7-5 is immense. Shark attack again. We've seen this already once in this game.
Paranoia, flash, dash. Once again, expected. Look at how far back they play, man. It's like they know when it's coming.
Tried to dart and ult Cracks, who was left behind to hold top mid while Kiwi was going into it. That separates them and allows for the easy kill. Really nice adaptation from ASE. Normally, you saw them in the last time. They just walk up and go into the A side. Wow, he just crossed.
Fortunately, there were two there. That would have been difficult to hold by himself.
It's the constant pivots. Mr. Fallen has been on his toes in the last few couple of rounds. Can he do it again? This time there's a KO ult, so he's potentially not even going to get that dart off. He just pulled it out, though. Dart coming. It's there. They can't get out the smoke.
Ad Captain's holding it. The flash, the dart. He's got to get out. He's got to get out. He can't. Mr. Fallen's going to join him. I mean, what an open.
Spike planted.
There's massive room to actually punish that. Darts up. There's a smoke on us. They've got space up close switch. Brutal, but they separate
Last
themselves
round
from each
before the
other.
switch.
I love that reaction. It's not something I see where you actually end up fighting out of top mid against the push. Oftentimes you can even add an op into that, holding top mid while the other player dashes through. Where is Artis?
Oh, he's probably chilling after the
He's waiting for his game.
dub.
He's waiting for his game tomorrow, or later today against CDG.
Get out of my
Excuse me.
way.
Life with blades. Pushed off, and I'm not finding any value with the op. Oh, second. They're gonna get out onto A. It's just Mr. Fallen that's here.
Disgusting.
It's just so swift.
Spike planted.
The potential for 5 on the attacking side. Unless there's some insane play that FUT can pull off. Lockdown dropped. And there's a little bit of, I mean, there are so many options for ASE here. Mon can play outside as he is. Isha not far off either. A can just win. Oh! I respect that so much. They've gotten it down to a 3v2. That nano's good. That's going to cut off space.
Oh my goodness.
As Bunt cuts off Maj's head. Cracks on the tap. Nothing found. ASE with 5 on the attacking side.
Opportunity there, but again, that holds so good from ASE. 5 on the attack. We've seen massive shifts on a set in recent times, but these two teams right now, ASE, they're putting it all out there. And I think they've gotten through the most difficult half. That defense from them was so good. FUT's got to put together a massive run to stay.
Or up to, excuse me, but they go towards the attacking side now, and ASE have stuck around in this thing. They have the opportunity, once again, we've touched on this a few times, the opportunity to make history.
First Chinese team to win a series. Hasn't happened yet. Up 1 already. Capability to put FUT away in this tournament.
It's a confidence, man. Still playing with confidence. Still taking these early fights.
And they protect him too.
Yep.
Shorty in the mix.
Huge.
Oh God.
There's so much help too. But they let them both pass in the door. I imagine is going to be going down. They're going to be left on the other side of it. There it goes. Life's going to rotate all the way through main.
Yeah, and that's coming fast. Remember, they didn't go through main, so.
Ada Captain's ready for it though. He swings out, he cleans him up.
Great job. Monk still only with the shorty.
And still stuck
There
on
it
the
is,
other side
his
of that
classic.
door. Finally cleared.
Retakes were fantastic for them on Haven.
They're gonna have to be fantastic again. Monk jumping out, that dart lights up everybody!
Oh,
A 2 for 2, but main still not cleared!
Whoa!
Kiwi just saved the day.
Oh my goodness. That switch made me think that he hit that. It's Kiwi though. So close for Attacking Soul Esports to call it even.
Last player standing.
Ayakta kalan son oyuncu.
That is hero play right there from Kiwi.
Which is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Really, this entire tournament from him.
I was thinking who contributed the most to that first half. I think I agree with the desk about Mr. Fallen. He was very active on that defense.
For sure.
A lot of damage, actually.
Dude, I mean, also Life, like, with a classic, no armor, decides, I'm gonna go for it again.
Heck yeah. Forces a swap, too, of the weaponry. Again? Another dink?
Another dink.
I'll take his life for 3. That's crazy.
That's just insane.
They're swapping all the weapons. There's no force up here, though, for ASE. Remember, that was a factor in Haven.
I cannot use that.
They won the
Right
pistol
here.
on their defense.
Revealing area.
Smoked off instantly. Does that instill enough confidence for Cracks to walk out?
There's flashes here for Ishan.
There's a fight happening on both sides. That is just a shorty. Creeping forward.
Tried to peek with the turret, but not quite the right angle for him. And that's going to call the rotate over. Leave Monk alone.
30 seconds left.
3 classics remain. And we've seen the 3 classics, or the classics be formidable this round, but it was primarily in the hands of Life.
They're waiting for the smoke to come through. And very nicely done from FUT. And they're heavily now in the lead in terms of the scoreline. ASE, with the guns that they have, this is their chance. Full light armor for them as well, by the way, completely committing to this event.
There's no one watching B. There's no one really patient about it. All of FUT are towards A.
This knife just caught at least 3.
The nano, the paranoia. There's no real way to get in, but Monk
the
gets
smoke.
spammed, yeah. Woo! Ishan is in a position to have a ton of value here. There's help from up top. The flash out on the swing. All 3 targets there. Snaps onto Attacaptain, looking for more. Not able to find it.
Enemy remaining.
2v2 here falls into a 2v1, and FUT on the precipice of a bonus again.
They're not recovering the spike yet. Life doesn't know, though. Now he does.
Remember how confident he's been. That confidence may have cost him his life there.
FUT with both bonuses on this map. Started out with that 4-0. Now they're doing it again. On the second half. Again, should be where you see a little bit of a comeback here from ASE, but so far not there. Opportunities abound. They had the room.
Yep.
They got the knife off, delayed the hit coming through, but that spammed through the smoke.
To invest in this light armor strat, and that's what allows them to have some sort of a buy in this round.
Yeah, keeps them in this. FUT going up to 11 would have been really difficult to deal with, and it's still a situation. in front of him. Life has been playing this pizza position quite a lot. And the dart's deep enough that he has to break it. So right now, position known. They're going to challenge, but he takes one with him.
He's just so reckless.
At the very least, yeah. That's a position you could dash out of.
Yeah, nah, I'd rather fight.
Crazy when you know they know where you're at. It's crazy.
Remember here, to go back to the first half, it was because of the light armor that ASE was able to have a buy in the 4th round, and that's what stopped them leading. Can they do it again here? Another 1-for-1. Bunt trying to anchor by himself. Nothing done. Krax has been so good this map.
One of the ones who struggled a little bit against EG.
Spike planted.
Now definitely having a good game, and Shifamai out the smoke. Give space for Monk to find another. But the 1-for-1s are not quite enough.
They just add up to another round for FUT. That's 4 now.
The crazy thing is, yeah, 4 in a row, but ASE still might be able to put together another buy. Because they've got knives in live sand. See what they choose to do. They were all hovering around 3.2K. And it's going to be just Sheriffs. So they're playing almost for OT, but definitely a dangerous one. Life continuing to play in mid. There's no variation here. Mimi was talking about this on the desk. They start to run out of ideas, run out of fuel. That's what happened against DRX. We saw multiple instances where they go for the same round over and over, and Life again gets picked out of mid with no value. And everybody's peeking by themselves.
Yep.
They have a timeout to talk about this.
The call out of the timeout was, we're just gonna solo fight.
Okay.
And the biggest key to success for ASE in this round was the knives, and they're gone.
This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
They're just all going one by one. And it might honestly win the round.
We're going to see an entire round of just 1v1s. It's still possible. Monk has upgraded a weapon here.
Okay, they're regrouping.
Last player standing.
There goes that upgraded weapon.
There it is.
This time in the hands of Bunt.
Spike planted.
Door in his face. Has to clear that out before he even consider getting the retake.
This was one of the players with light armor. There's only 3 of them.
Cover going out.
There's still duels possible. But they did regroup into A. You heard the dash in that direction. But he has to deal with the crossfire from A main and down in dark. What?
Early. Almost ahead of the tap.
Yeah, he was. He started tapping away before that.
Match point.
Kiwi with 4, FUT with map point. 5 rounds in a row on the attacking side. I mean, even this, like, I understand it was a light buy, and really, you kind of were going to ride or die off of Life's knives. But as soon as you see the dart come through, doesn't really play off of anything. He just goes up, takes the fight.
Yep. I mean, it's nice. It's a great attempt.
Yeah.
So many Jets go for that because the Sova's constantly playing out from there.
Get out of my way.
That could have turned everything. Fast flash. Paranoia in. Monk hiding inside of logs. They get the lockdown, and how is that a shot?
I don't know if he was lit up by a dart or a drone or something.
Oh, Life.
Couldn't have been for long.
Where are you going, man?
We're getting a bit silly here.
The dude's running into lockdown.
Into a lockdown, op in hand, trying to make a play by himself.
Nowhere to run.
And I think he just played himself into a Lotus.
One enemy remaining.
Kiwi flash, Mr. Fallen gets the kill, Bunt's left alone, and it's a Prime Gaming Flawless to close it out.
Should definitely be a good one. I think that composition that ASE is running is something that FUT, surprisingly, is going to be really familiar with. You saw a lot of Breach in EMEA. You saw a lot of single controller in EMEA. And FUT just continuously running the same comp with the KO solo initiator, the Neon, and the standard triplet of Viper, KJ, and Omen. Instant duel down C.
He's already through. Life able to get 1, not able to get 2 though.
It's the same sort of thing that we saw in the tail end of Ascent. Those 1-for-1s. In this case, FUT coming out 2-for-1. Super happy with that initial engagement. And it's even worse on these maps when defenders go down in even trade scenarios because there's 3 maps or 3 sites to deal with. Flash over top did just spot that Mound was empty, so you should have a rotate coming through, at least to either assist on B or help out Monk.
Right on cue, you see them turning over. Monk's the only one here, he's playing tree, and they're not pushing up that way. I don't know that they're gonna spot him. He's in a really good spot to make play here. Oh gosh, every single bullet missed.
Player standing.
And Maj is not. A 1v3 4 bunt
Spike planted.
with 46 HP. Nothing but a classic. The play would be ridiculous. The alarm bots are first to fall, and he follows shortly thereafter. FUT get another pistol.
Lost 3 in a row for them. Streaks there going up big. In that head-to-head record on the pistols. And they're so crucial. When you see both sides run out of steam, they're so crucial. FUT since Ascent have looked completely not different. I think I agree with Kukuka in terms of the fact that ASE running out of ideas on those retakes and defensive ideas overall added a lot to what looked like FUT playing very well. But either way, at the individual level, they're definitely stepped up since Haven.
ASE have sent 3, well 2 now, because Bunt's rotating away, but they've posted up aggressively in B. Doesn't seem like that's where FUT are gonna head, as there's this 3-man death ball exploring C while the rest of the numbers are split towards A.
Dangerous proposition. We've got 2 Bulldogs alone on A.
The tap of the door, and they just back right up.
And knowing that actually B-Main was under control of the defense right now, actually pivots them back over towards A. The original idea was to break through that breakable door and pivot towards B. Now they're going to use the Viper Wall to clear up towards A. Flash close, Shorty close as well.
He slipped the net. With the Shorty, he gets the kill, upgrades a weapon now. 30 HP, there's still so much to do, and there's not much health to go around for him. Harmlessly falls. Still a 3v3 here. Cracks is so weak. The retake attempt from ASE have to be a bit labored, and Maj has already dropped 2. Ishin with nothing but a classic meets a similar fate as FUT get 2.
ASE just ran in, trying to up the pace like they did on Haven on those retakes.
She knows mine.
Just ran straight in. A couple players got trapped there too. And FUT, they got both bonuses on Ascent. Lost 2 players in that last one, so 2 Bulldogs and a Vandal. It's not the greatest of buys. Not the greatest of situations. The Neon joins this A control side. And the Omen and the KO of Mr. Fallen and Cracks. Flash over top, that's been a success point for FUT over and over, is when uncontested, and even when contested, that flash can do so much work. Working past the Viper Wall immediately. They've got so much space to pick this A side.
HFMI is playing very close by, and they pounce at just the right time.
There's some teamwork there from ASE finally coming through. Peeking on the A side, HFMI through the smoke. The turret obviously down now that Monk has fallen. Should leave a gap here on the B side. FUT immediately capitalizing on that, but the other turret down too from the distance of Maj. He's got to be careful with this. Could come back up at any point. Maj is not actually going back. He's pulled away the turret.
And Life has taken all the space that he's being given. He's so far up. There's a smoke currently keeping him back for now. But as soon as that goes down, you know he's going to be looking for a play. Instead, he peeks ahead of the smoke, looks for the kill, and finds it! Huge position, huge round by Life.
And no bonus there from FUT. So the streak won't continue. And I like that round immensely from ASE. The double peek downstairs, the flank from Life as well. He was in mount for quite a while. Starts his flank as this A hit comes through. So great timing FUT just missing on a couple of those ideas, though. The couple of possibilities of ASCs that they did go for. This time they might challenge here. There's no neon this time, so it's going to be much more controlled from FUT.
Note
from
here,
Cracks.
note here for ASE, because of the way Life played the last round, he's able to have blades online, hand a weapon over to a teammate, and they're instantly used.
Fast reaction from FUT to go into the C site. They haven't challenged Monk at all. He's got a judge close by. 2 nanos as well to play for.
Oh, of course he does. But the lockdown's going to be the line in the sand.
He's going to jump in.
Oh, was so well handled and considered by QE.
Yeah, he already had control of the smoke, so very happy to stay there.
Expecting the pounce as Kiwi gets a second. The spike does go down. Those blades that we saw, that we mentioned from Life at the very beginning of the round, haven't even had a chance to challenge. This retake attempt is surely going to be labored. They're down in numbers, they're down in weaponry. Life upgrading 1 though. They try to swing it out. HFMI and Life both fall. And that's the cue for them to cut their losses. Whoa. Take one with them, but that's all it is.
Good reaction from FUT. I mean, instantly hitting. When that Sky Flash came through, when the Omen one-way came through on that A side, they switched immediately to the tools they have, and ASC didn't consider it. Another shotgun from Monk, too. They're buying up in this one. Bunt with the full armor, despite some of his teammates going for light, when they definitely could purchase up full. Random spam. Mr. Fallen alone this time, trying to go for something. And it's because he's joined by the knife. They're trying to misdirect and again hit the C side.
And it's right back into the shotgun that you mentioned. Remember, it was the judge previously, this time a Bucky.
They farmed up the Viper's Pit in the meantime.
No smoke to play inside this time.
Oh gosh.
Just barely ahead of it, but still patient. Dropped nonetheless.
It's a very strange idea, given that there's mollies down in front of him, to play in front every single time with that shotgun. Why not play back at the pillar?
ASC still have 3 rifles to play with. Bunt, you see him having to carefully consider every possibility. Pushing forward, past the utility and right into Maj's crosshair. Cracks has already gotten 3. This is very quickly becoming ugly.
There too, you can see FUT. They use a pit that actually allows them to play for post. Out and mound, allows the Viper to stay out and mound as well. But they know the situation, they know these guys love to flank. And they play all inside of that pit. So well considered. You're right though, ugly it is, 4-1 right now. It's back to saving here for ASC.
And it's a lot of the same thing that we saw in the previous round. And we've seen in a few rounds, really. Life and Bunt taking a lot of space C. Playing in a smoke. How disciplined can FUT be?
I wonder if Mr. Fallen last round thought that they were eco. Because he goes solo mission again. Cracks finally does join up though. And everything that FUT is doing, they just figure out what ASC is doing and just run the opposite way. This is 3 rounds now. Will Maj escape? No.
In the face of the turret too, man. Just finding the narrowest of windows.
And there's going to be guns recovered. Only Life to pick them up though. And that means Bunt left alone with just the Sheriff. Well, FUT can set up in post positions. Doubled up on stairs though. That smoke might fade.
Bunt has hit a couple of pretty nasty Sheriff shots. But is he going to be expecting the pressure?
Player standing.
Nope.
Not at all. Cracks was in a great spot. There was help too, you mentioned it. They were double stacking stairs. Too much for Bunt to do. Too much for Life to do.
Some of those heroic moments from Attacking Soul Esports that we saw in that DRX game that gave DRX a little bit of trouble are definitely missing today. Even in that win against FUT here on Haven in that first map. just not quite converting. Life had a fantastic series against DRX. Right now you're seeing a lot of moments where he's ready. And definitely given the opportunity. But not quite hitting as hard as he was. These elimination games change the circumstances for anyone. And if you're wondering right now, this is a FUT Esports timeout.
Down 5-1. And forced to again answer questions. This light armor strat that they've been leaning into have gotten them a couple of extra gun rounds, but they aren't really finding success there.
And the info on the screen, by the way, ASE, correction, it is their timeout. Coming to an end right now. I was wondering for a second there, because
yeah, I was really confused.
said it on the screen. I was like, you're up 5-1. Gotta come through now, though, for ASE. I think these early aggressions that are continuously happening, FUT is reacting so well to them. You've got to be able to do something else with that space. An extra peek somewhere for life down B or something when you corral them and force them to rotate.
But instead, it's a bit of the same. It's aggression towards C. This time it's well held, though. Life is the only casualty. And the spike is in a precarious position.
And they have follow-ups this time, too. I mean, they hold on to the space. There's going to be a flash with the door for Maj to potentially find something.
Player standing.
All he finds is a couple of bullets, courtesy of Bunt.
And that one way makes it impossible for him to get across to that spike to make plays. They're going to have to look for other routes.
Yeah, this will be difficult for Cracks to consider and convert. And it seems like we may have a moment to chat here. So, Ball, I do want to get your thoughts on this, because that look that we saw was very similar to what we've seen out of ASE a couple of times. What was different there? What worked? Because FUT have been able to handle that.
I think the delayed stun there from Yishen was fantastic. And you saw FUT wanted to fight through it. They've had a little bit of a confident surge, given the scoreline. But that extra late stun allowed basically Bunt to clear through everything that was going through. That neon wall also not super supportive of the rest of the team out of Kiwi. Just for himself, he can play behind it, but there was only one lane on the left. That was free. But that's something that's easily adaptable against. If you're FUT, you just realize, okay, let's play a little slower when you're going for this. Let's not have full confidence through, even though sometimes it can get us some value. Let's carefully prod. Let's carefully approach the sites. Mr. Fallen, I mean, you've seen success from him over here, especially when they go with Cracks, especially when they go with Kiwi. ASE default working very well. Might get broken down here, though.
Yeah.
Killjoy utility, Sky utility, and HFMI to consider.
Just have to wait for the smoke to fade now. Timing with the smoke upstairs.
The door, the paranoia, the nano's used.
Oh, wow. So much in the middle of that site right now. And it's a full fake.
Late misdirection, and that turret, yeah, finally getting a little bit. It seemed like Monk was a little bit further away. Either way, FUT have gotten their way in.
Oh, no!
Invested in Cracks was ahead of it. But Ishin, wise to it, able to respond.
That breach ult stunned them up for life to open up the door, too.
HFMI has 1 HP. Grab the spike, getting away. Kiwi and Mr. Fallen both so healthy, and with 13 seconds left, they should be able to get the spike down. Can Kiwi hold them back? No! In a position to make something out of it, and he cannot. Leaving Mr. Fallen by himself, a 1v4. They're both weak. There's a shot at this. Oh. Well handled by ASE. And in situations like that, you've seen teams break down. You've seen them take single individual swings, and you have special moments. That's just not one of them.
There's ways that in moments like that where you're 4v1, you can clean it up.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Saw it there from Attacking Soul. player jumping through, the other player following up. Instant trade. It's a good attempt from FUT, but not quite going to come through. And it's giving some life here.
Yeah, last 2 rounds going over to the defense. They've got the lockdown from Monk too.
Ooh, late call for ASE right now. They're just joining up on that C site. It's not going to be a factor, but they definitely called an audible about what they wanted to do, and they're going to receive.
And that is a little different from FUT to respond. It's normally a nano from Maj that soars through to block that off, but this time it's the Viper Orb.
It's the same call out of FUT every single round, and I think against ASE, this is probably a good idea, because it's the same call for them too.
Right.
It's just the KJ, it's just the Sky on the other side, and you can start to do minor adjustments within this default. That Cracks and Mr. Fallen are running on this side of the map. For example, this, breaking the door early, breaking the turret, allowing for this pivot to be threatened a lot better.
ASE still holding fast at Mound, and it seems like that is where they're going to want to go. A tap of the door, a smoke, even a paranoia towards A.
Here it comes.
But there's no reason to believe.
Timing is terrible for Buns.
The Cloudburst providing cover. ASE playing in the smokes, finding a kill, getting away.
Okay. Around the corner too, 13 HP is what he comes away with.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds, the pivot's gonna come through.
Oh, that nano hurt.
What?
I mean, a funny look is all it would have taken. Mr. Fallen pushing through the smoke, HFMI.
That kill should be the final thing to confirm that they should push back into B.
Mr. Fallen so far up. Well, 10 seconds left. That would have been so big out of Monk. Can Ishin stop them? Can he delay? Spike planted. 1. Cracks. Just there. And I wonder if he's expecting Ada Captain.
He knows that a captain's there. He knows he planted.
The thing is, he hasn't had any info on this line. Maybe it's enough for him to swing out the fault line there. The swing onto it, and Ada Captain greets. FUT get to 6.
How's that stun missing?
It had to have been narrow. Pixel, because it looked like it was dead on. You're right.
I mean, both of them, I feel like, were on that line. I wonder if he was too close to the wall. That's a great way to split them up. And FUT, again, super cautious.
30 seconds left.
I mean, they had plenty of opportunities to pivot there with the info. That was given. Thankfully, in the final moments, it does convert for them to stay up in a lead, in a good lead. Finally, a switch up here from ASE. Life's got the op, and he's pushing into B.
Flash, everyone there, but the shot goes wide. Ada Captain does not miss, however. Kiwi wanting it to go, but the fault line keeps him at bay for the time being. Second shot, this time successful from Life.
It's crazy, too, that he is able to use the remaining portions of that dash. He activated at the very beginning of that round when the initial peak happened. Somehow he saves it till then.
It seems like we're going to end where we
Great
ended
reposition.
so many times before. And you're right, the reposition is beautiful. He's ahead of the play.
Okay.
Took 3 shots and took 2 lives with it. That's all he was able to do.
My ultimate is ready.
KJ ult. In the game against EG.
Break the panel and note that turret is there. So there's no real reason to believe until it gets cleared out, and that's exactly what just took place.
Oh, Bunt's fighting here. Up in heaven.
You should run.
Ishin's close by. But they're going to respect the lockdown.
They have to.
Is Blunt going
30
to...
seconds left.
There's a counter roll possible if he gets over towards Waterfall.
Thought he was going to ult for a moment and stay.
Aftershock again has been so good at delaying.
The flash onto the swing, looking to find some space.
There's the defender's KJ lockdown. They can play from B main here, but Bunt does have a smoke and finding kills on the exit. Not gonna help FUT here.
Cracks has 7 HP.
You can almost stick this outside
Yeah.
the mauling.
The hand. Oh, how does he still get the kill? Oh, away, Maj! Ishin, 1v2, in the smoke, out of it now, getting it down to a 1v1. The tap is there. No utility, he's got to take the fight. Time is short. As smoke dissipates, the options are running out. The decision's simple, but surely he doesn't have time for the defuse.
What a turnaround for Maj. First thing he does, by the way, he's all the way A main, throws a molly. A lineup from the other side of the map, then goes on the lurk. And he gets spammed before he even sees him, still confident to take that fight and swing against Bunt as well. There's a moment there where FUT thinks that the player is completely sticking. And that definitely put some uncertainty into them that they might have lost that round. That allows at least for that first kill. Finally a save from ASE.
There's just so much staying power. Life with the blades.
What? What? It's every time with this guy.
Every time you think he's overstaying, there's no way he gets a kill. He's so dead, he's so done. Takes one with him, stays alive. Still!
See him? Oh. Crack still controlled. Did invest into this one. Monk's got a shotgun again. He's pushing.
It's a bit surrounded. HFMI is going to be able to provide some pressure from Mound. Bunt has the paranoia. There it is. Dropped out, and that's going to funnel back the remaining defenses from FUT.
Molly. So close.
The Trailblazer takes a bite out of him. 37 HP, and they're trying to spam through. Not quite secured on site. 2v2 still. You see the shells. He's flying across the screen. As Monk tried to do it, but Anna Captain does. Dude,
I like this Monk guy.
I mean, these rounds, all of it.
This game is getting ridiculous.
Monk is insane. You know, we saw those closing moments. Think about life at the very beginning of the round. Anna Captain with a huge play.
That was his pit. And they planned in the open for it too. By the way, if they don't break that nano that landed early,
Yeah.
hey, they don't have space to fight there. They're starting to stick the spike on it.
Go, go, go.
Last round of the half, and it's an aggressive one. Kiwi instantly using his ult in conjunction with Mr. Fallen, getting behind him. The paranoia. There's okay, never mind. Bunch just got a head on a swivel.
Still got him in the back line though. Mr. Fallen forces them to get off.
Life evacuates, space stays alive.
4 mollies available here. They have to hold on to Mound. That's the win condition for this round.
The door's just a threat. HFMI playing on the other side of it.
They might breach ult here.
They do.
Onto the site,
It's
but
not going to hit anyone.
they need to fight the Mound players.
And that's exactly where they are. HFMI still in a position to make a big play, but he's waiting for the right moment to strike. And he's done.
Molly missed.
2 left for ASE. Make that one.
Player standing.
Is that enough? Monk on the tap, but he drops down. Surely has been earned! But Monk gets the kill.
Imagine if I died right now.
Ada Captain for sure hurt him. The dude's shooting his weapon. He knows he's off. And that's gonna hurt for FUT.
You were just saying you like that Monk guy. He just gave you more reason to like him.
Last player standing.
What a play.
One enemy
A
remaining.
1v3 to close things out. Unreal. Oh, and a look of disbelief on a couple of members of FUT.
Gonna start getting to you.
ASE are the ones who are staring up a greater mountain.
It's crazy to think that we started this with a dominant half out of ASE and a dominant map on Haven from them. But here we are in the series, and they're facing elimination. They're down on this map. Back on the attack. They've had some struggles here. Life looking around with the Sheriff. Not much to find, though.
It's interesting here. It seems like they're so concerned with the
Right there.
flank from C. They have 3 members holding still back in spawn.
The spike is most advanced with Life right now.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like we saw on Ascent, on Haven. They're peeking all over the map at this point. Open the revolving door.
Break.
Just broke the panel.
Yep. Flash into B as well. It's just like an overstimulation of possibilities for the defensive side to consider. Because so far you've seen presence everywhere. But they end B. Kiwi spam not gonna land. Life waiting on the other side of the door, and the flick is clean out onto Captain. Excellent adjustment, but is traded back. And they're playing far off here. They're playing off site.
Remember, FUT has won the last 3 pistols.
They're trying to scale forward in the face of the paranoia. You see the flash coming through. Ishin trying to swing around. He's landing some damage, but it's not enough. It's not fatal. Oh, but life is. Whew. Mr. Fallen, 1v2, just a classic. Time is short, the smoke is there. He's got to try to land the shots. He's got it down to 1v1. Monk is so weak! That very well may be it. The Red Bull clutch to open the half for FUT.
Mr. Fallen. What a play. He's spamming his classic. They know he's off the spike, but they've overcommitted because they know it's halved. The fact that he has enough time to get this reload off too, sneak back out. Monk is the one running out of ammunition there, and there's so many room to play out of that smoke. I love it. In that little bowl there,
Yeah.
you play around the geometry of the smoke to make yourself peak so fast and switch your direction so fast too. Force buy up for ASE. They're in it again. They won the last time they went for one. They've gotten the site completely for free.
A 5v5 post plant. How insane of a series it's been. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mr. Fallen's used both of his smokes already, so they have to wait for the cooldown to cut out the site.
FUT finding 2 kills through spam. Oh, what?
Stinger's not doing the work though, completely.
3v2 for FUT. Monk weak. Monk dead. And that's another round for FUT. The investment does not pay off.
In fact, that choice might put their situation from possible to very, very dire. You're looking at 11 for FUT here. Because after that force, they're going to have to save. Yes, they got the spike down again. They might be able to afford a sheriff here and there. A stinger here or there.
What are they going to do?
They're making the decision not to force again.
Yeah, and I wonder what they'll do here. They have 4 sheriffs. Oh, they are buying a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Stinger in the hands of Life and Bunt, who remember had a filthy 2K with that same weapon just a few moments ago.
I mean, they've got to start actually hitting into the bank of FUT because you've given them 3 rifles carried over the last time. And, I mean, these smokes, every single time Life goes for a smoke for him to dash out, they just spam it.
It's just so predictable in a sense, at least on the side of FUT. They seem to have had their number.
Only one player here who went down, died outside of a smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Things have fallen apart for ASE.
And it's unfortunate, but the Prime Gaming Flawless comes through. For ASE, this got to be at the worst point possible. Again, they bought up a little bit there. They're going to need to rely on what has been their plan this entire time, which is light armor. But while that's happening, they're considering the fact that they might be going home in a few rounds. That their run, their opportunity to take their first win for China on an international stage might be fleeting in their hands.
Right there.
Ever since that first map win on Haven by them, things have been different. Very different. FUT's woken up. And ASE, that energy that they came in with has been lacking since. This is the team that pushed DRX in a 2-map series, yes, but definitely made it so that those DRX players had to sweat.
They made it competitive. They made it interesting. But as you were saying, the entrance has been gone since Haven, to be honest.
Early pick, though. Shifts things slightly. Silently walking through HFMI. He's all the way up the stairs. Maj looking for him.
Finished.
And it's HFMI who finds him.
They've got the gaps now. Those 2 nanos are gone.
Bananas are gone. You do have Ad Captain close by, though. He's playing in the smoke.
Wow, and they just used huge retake tools, a flash, 2 flashes from Mr. Fallen and Cracks to re-clear B main. They didn't really believe this hit was coming. And the threats of lurkers so often capitalize for ASE. FUT careful of it.
He said they needed to start to dig into the money. This is a great opportunity for ASE to do just that. Isha pushed off the angle, flashed.
It's even now. They have to use the Rolling Thunder.
Yep. Something that you imagine you wanted to be able to preserve. But is that going to be enough to secure the round? Fault line there. The spam too. Not even able to get it to half. So for Ad Captain, this would be way too much. The spam secures the round for ASE. Whew.
By the skin of their teeth, though.
Yeah.
HFMI is the only one who stays alive in that one. It was a 2v1, but one had to fall to the spike to deal with the defuse from Ad Captain.
One enemy remaining.
Good early entrances, though. HFMI with 3. I think both of the initial kills came in from them. And they win the round, but they've got a long road.
Get out of my way.
Not really much more time to dwell over it. As you see, Kiwi has already gotten so far up. They want to try to apply some pressure. That late paranoia is going to cause so many problems. Bunt's dead. There were so many layers to the aggression from FUT. The stun, the paranoia late, and the kill.
I've got your trail.
Monk is once again so far up mid.
Blinded.
Seeker's in the flash, nothing found, but space gained. Live swinging through, the first knife not landing, the second one does, and an opportunity for more, a position to make a play. It's HFMI who's on the trade.
Trades it through. FUT trying to hold on to the space. You could see actually on the waterfall side, they were mollying twice. They threw a nanoswarm and a snake bite to hold it down. That saves the space for the defense. Surely you saw him.
Last player standing.
Monk gives up his life, detained by the ult. Expecting something, and Isha who's going to have to pull off a 1v3. He's got it down to a 1v2, but Ad Captain holding the defuse. He's gotten it all the way there. FUT get to series point.
They close out 2, take the Vandal with them. Gotta look at the economy instantly here. It's rough for attacking Seoul Esports. Only 2 rifles gonna be able to bot up. And to think FUT, who went down early against EG in this group stage, the team that has not yet qualified for champs, none of the MEA teams have. They thought they were done for after that early game, but Na'Vi lost as well. So that battle continues.
Just a stun from FUT towards A main this time, and a knife. No aggression, no positioning.
ASE might be done here after this round. For a first showing at an international land. They turned some eyebrows in that first series. But here, they might be the first team to exit from Masters Tokyo.
Desperation and a need to put everything behind this possible final punch. Lockdown invested. And the space gained, but HFMI falls. I mean, everything is scattered. You see it on the minimap. They're trying to corral them, to control them defensively, but it seems like there may be attempt at a reflank.
And look at all the space gained from ASE too. They've walked into it.
Rolling Thunder.
Doesn't
Mr.
hit
Fallen's behind them. He's going to be creeping up towards B. Are they going to be expecting the pressure? Yes, Bunt does. 3v3 now. As the spike continues to tick away, there have been so many pesky fights happening elsewhere, but the main target, time, becomes the problem. Can FUT get in? 1, 2. Maj gets it down to that's it. Monk alone, a 1v1. Kiwi at half, 34 HP. Kiwi on the tap, the swing, and the clutch for Monk. The Red Bull clutch keeps ASE alive.
How do they hang on to that one? I think they're recognizing instantly what FUT is doing when they get up these sites. They're playing so far back, knowing that they want to push. But instead of pushing, They scatter backwards, but take so much space back in A main
One enemy remaining.
to make it so difficult for FUT to retake some of that space. No, they don't push waterfall. No, they don't push spawn in heaven. But that battle endured. You can see it's Monk to stay alive in it. Round's already started. And we've got low econ for FUT. Means the overdrive is active for Kiwi.
They've taken all the space C. That alarm bot's not gonna
Go.
stop that! Kiwi with 2, Kiwi with 3, and that very well may be the dagger.
One enemy remaining.
He's gonna do it on his own.
Down A.
4 served up, the 5th not far off. The opportunity for an ace is delivered. FUT stay alive.